evening, good afternoon, or good morning, wherever you are watching from. Welcome to Moviecrew 17's The Lounge. And yes, we are back with season two. We're going to be talking about more amazing things, adding in new things from last time when we did it. But again, number one thing is we're back every Mondays at 7 p.m. Hope everyone's been enjoying their time. I know I have. I have a lot on my plate I've been working on, and a lot of people follow me on Facebook and social media. Totally get that. So tonight we have a really cool special guest, and we'll be talking about a lot of things tonight. We'll be talking about upcoming projects. Yes, the Red Huntress, 92 hours. Um, we're also going to be talking about some things that are going on in the world. We're going to be talking about the Oscars. We're going to talk about, films that won Oscars. We're going to talk about new and upcoming films that are coming up and just a whole bunch of stuff this time on the lounge. We're not just keeping it, about independent filmmaking. We're talking about anything that involves films, movies, all that great stuff. So, again, the chat box is now open. I am going to go ahead and pop that open over there. Give me 1 second, everyone. All right. So here we go. I know Restream has done a whole new layout, so I'm getting used to it, but I think I got it. Let me go ahead and okay, I guess that's the biggest I can do it. So as we know, the chat box is open. Go ahead, ask any questions at any time. It's gonna be awesome. Um, so Red Huntress, we're gonna be releasing a short trailer, our last trailer for the Red Huntress for episode 3 and 4 next Monday. That will be our next Monday. Uh, that we'll be talking about. We're gonna have some of the cast on here again talking about it. And then when we're done with that, we're going to be taking a break with the Red Huntress, and we're going to be taking a break with the Red Huntress, and we'll be moving on to new projects. And the newest one that I'll be working on is sci-fi, as everyone knows. I am a big sci-fi nerd, so we will be moving on to sci-fi and the movie called 92 Hours. We have an amazing cast. We're getting everything put together. We were going to start campaigning, crowdfunding. I think it's crowdfunding for 92 hours, but we wanted to put some things together first and make sure we did it right. As everyone knows, Ace is behind me. So all right, but without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce my guest for this evening. He is from Indianapolis, Indiana, and you have seen him. Uh, and you've seen his work and all the stuff that he posted. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Darrell Miller.
Yeah, how y'all
Darrell, what's
doing?
up, Darrell? How you doing?
Man, I'm good, brother. How you doing?
I am doing great. I am tired, but you know how it is being a filmmaker. You just got to
Yeah,
keep going and going and going and going and going, and there's really no break after that.
for facts.
Um,
Facts.
well, I mean, real quick, I want to say a shout out to those who are in the chat. Kenzie,
Yeah.
how are you doing? Yes, it is sharing time. So, everyone, share this podcast.
Yes.
It's going to be great. We're going to have a fun night tonight, and we're going to make some cool things. And let's see. Here you go. Talking Shit is on here with us. What's up, Talking Shit? Again, if you
Hello.
haven't watched your stuff, it's every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Time. Go listen to Mark and Brian. They are awesome. Check them out. Every week they have a new guest. And hey, if you're an artist, filmmaker, whatever you are, reach out to them. They're always looking for new people to be on. So check
And
them out.
yes.
So Kenzie says, I like the new look. Absolutely. I'm gonna actually have to let's see if I can move this thing right over because I know it's blocking your face, Darrell. I'm gonna have to move a little bit. Let me hold on. Ah, there we go. Okay, cool, cool.
Yeah.
I don't want that interfering with your with everything here. I think I'm gonna leave it. All right, cool. I'll just leave it right here. Right here. There you go. Right there's cool. All right, cool. All right, so I'm just gonna keep it there for now because it's better for that side.
Right.
So all right, so we are talking about the lounge. We're chilling today. We're on the
Yeah.
lounge, Darrell. So Darrell, what do you do? What are you? What do you do?
Man, I do too much, man. I'm a hip hop artist. I make my own comic books.
Okay.
I I make my own, of course, film director, actor, produce it myself. I do a lot, bro. I'm just in art in general, content creator, cosplayer.
Oh,
You
you
know what I
do
mean?
everything, man. You're the jack of all trades in the film
I
world, right? In the
try.
art world.
I try, man. I try to learn. Like I said, I've been a nerd my whole life. I've been a fan of just creating. I used to create my own comic books as a kid. So as an adult, like to continue on that and upgrade is a blessing. And to meet dope people like yourself and others that's doing what I do is just amazing.
I think that's awesome. Like I always tell everyone, to stay busy, keep
Yeah,
doing what you're doing, and it just gets times where you feel like you got to give up, but you can't. And like I know I'm going back to my high school this week, and it's career day, so it's
okay.
going to be really cool. I get to
Yeah.
meet with the other students there, the seniors, and talk to them about filmmaking. And I went there last year and it was a great experience. And we just got to get the future ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get them into that. Because I feel like the independent film industry is like making a comeback. It's huge. It's
Yeah.
more popular. It's more out there. More people watch it than they actually watch bigger films, and it's
Yeah.
crazy. But it's because there's so much creativity, there's so much originality, and um, I think that makes a world of a difference.
Yeah.
So, what have you? What so? How can I say? So you do music,
Yeah.
you do filmmaking. Let's talk about you in the filmmaking industry. What
Okay.
got you into filmmaking?
Um, I had to take a break from music when it wasn't going the way I wanted to because I had my own record label at the time. So I was like, my favorite actor was Will Smith. So I was like, he was a rapper. He turned to an actor. So I was like, let me try. So I created my first short film called "The Boy in the Darkness," based on my album, and it was like a werewolf horror film that I did because I'm a huge werewolf fan. And after doing that, and I fell in love with it. Like me and my cousin had fun, and my people had fun. I was like, well, this might be something I need to do all the time. And I started in 2018. I think we filmed that. And so I started doing these little shorts. And my second one was a traumatic story. It was like a drama comedy and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And then after that, I was like, this is something I can see myself doing if I'm not doing music, you know what I mean?
Right,
And then
right.
I just started taking it seriously. Then I started getting other people projects as an actor. Certain things fell through, some things got canceled. And then I created my first web series called Paragenics, was like a superhero urban type of project, and I loved it. And I got to work with over probably 50 or 60 people in that first project. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just trying to go with the flow and have other people teach me because I had more people that had more experience teach me. But my brother Christian Griffin, who showed me the way, even though it was stressful at times, he made put it together. And then I had my bro Blake Connor, who put the VFX and stuff. And when it came out, it looked better than what I thought it would be. Cause
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Cause you know how you get behind the scenes, you don't know how great it's gonna turn out when things don't go right, so you gotta adapt. But when it came out, I was amazed by it, and it was like, yo, this is for me, especially after winning my first award, I think in 2019 from it. I was like, yeah, this is meant for me, and the team and the people I built with this, it was a teamwork success. So I was like, I got to keep going.
Right, and that's huge. It's going, going, going. You're gonna fail a little bit. You're going not to succeed, but you got to keep going. You got to learn from those mistakes
Yeah,
because you can't win without failure.
yeah,
And I think that's huge. So that's awesome. And I know we're starting to. We just started talking about what 2 weeks ago,
yeah,
and we're just like, yeah, I was like, hey man, you interested in being in this? So I know we're talking about you coming on for the 92 Hours movie, and
yeah.
we're going
I
to be
appreciate
meeting each
that.
other up on Sunday. So
Yes,
we're going to meet up and talk and all that other stuff too. So, and yes, so Kenzie says, award winning, amazing, congratulations.
thank you so much.
And that's awesome. I never really applied for getting awards
Yes.
for film stuff. I just never got into it. That's just not me. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but I'm just not a guy who goes for that. I just kind of want to put it out there, and I guess that's just everyone. Everyone has a different mindset when it comes
Yeah.
down to that.
It's not all be all. It's certain projects that when I submit, I don't get in regardless. It's certain things, you know what I mean? It's not for everybody. It doesn't mean you're a bad filmmaker. It doesn't mean you're the best filmmaker. Just because I win awards, I'm still learning to this day. And I tell that to people, no matter what, I'm still learning how to be a better filmmaker. I'm still learning how to um upgrade my skills, you know what I
Right,
mean? And to learn from every filmmaker that I can, because just because you see me as an actor or director, or you see me got these following or whatever, don't mean I can't still learn from you. You know what I
right,
mean? I don't have an ego like that. I always been humble. Something about me, I'm
right,
a humble character. I always feel like, because I never want to feel like I can't grow.
right,
When, you know what I mean? If I'm not learning nothing, I don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like
right.
I
Exactly.
already maxed out. You know what I'm saying? But you always want to grow. You always want to grow. Have something to learn from. I learned from the young generation as well. I learned from the older generation. I learned from everybody, different cultures. I love to mix cultures because I can learn from your culture different from my culture, or
Right,
different from way of life.
right. And it's like I said, you got to be open. You got to learn everything. Everything
Yes.
you got to learn. So I got some pictures I was able to pull up that we talked about this, and I kind of want to ask
Yes.
you a question about it. So, okay, the first one that I saw that really pulled my like, that's awesome. What I'm a big Power Rangers fan, as you know. Okay, I love the Power Rangers,
Yes.
and growing up as a kid, I always wanted to be one, and
Hmm.
into all the fighting. We all know that.
Yes.
So I found this,
Yeah.
and you're in it with Roger Velasco, who was in
Yeah.
Turbo, and like that's crazy. Like, how do you feel about being in a movie with an actual Power Ranger?
Bro,
From your childhood.
it's like a dream come true, bro. Like for real, like I I never expect me to be not only to be in a movie with a Power Ranger like actor, but also I got to meet him at a convention at ChaoticCon, was it last year, and be
Okay.
on a panel and host it from a good friend that I interviewed. He said, "You know what? I never interviewed anybody before, but he was like, yo, since you a part of the Power Rangers, you know him, you're gonna be in a movie with him. I'm gonna let you host the panel." So I was
Right.
like, man, I'm nervous and all that, but I got to meet him. We talked about how we was excited about the project that we filming this June 1st through the 6th. And he's a nice guy. The other Rangers are nice too. I got to talk to them, got to network. But it was just amazing. Like my childhood's coming to life. It's like the hard work, right? Because I
Right.
got the role by the director Alexander Soba. He was posting this Power Ranger in Anaheim on Instagram, and
Mhm.
I'm like, well, let me just ask. So I just DM him. I'll say, hey, if you need a Black Ranger, I got the Black Ranger suit already. I'm a
Right.
cosplay. Cosplay the Black Ranger. If you need a Black Ranger, I got you. And then he messaged me back. He said, let me see. So I sent him my acting reel. He said, man, you got the part. And then he was like, and then I helped him out get to find the Red Ranger, who's my brother John. I
Okay.
got helped him to get the role. And then my friend Michelle, she's gonna help replace and be the Yellow Ranger. So I help people as well to get these roles as me, if and help the director out in many ways. You know what I'm saying, if they need help.
Right. And that's awesome, man. I'm man, that's like awesome. Like I would always like I don't know what else to say. You man, you're lucky. I wouldn't even say you're lucky. I think it's just you're out there connect. You're going out
Yeah,
there trying to connect. You're
yeah,
putting yourself out there so people, hey, I'm here. And to a lot of those people out there who are like, man, I really want to work with my, possibly with a favorite actor or
yeah.
actress. It's not hard, but it's just how you put yourself out there.
Yes,
Think
yeah.
that's the number one thing. You can't. What's the term called? Um, there's 100% chance of missing if you don't put it out there, right?
Exactly.
So, like, hey, you might not get it this time, but you might get something else.
Okay.
One door closes, another door opens. So
All right.
that is awesome. That's really
Mhm.
cool, and I hope you the best of luck with this production I just hope that would be cool. Maybe I might reach out to Roger. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, hey, look, at all in will, it's all about building relationships and just asking. You
Mhm.
just never know. Just ask. Like, there's other Rangers Instagram DM, like, hey, would you be willing to be on the project, or what's your project? Or just first get to know them first to see their
Right,
personality and all that. Then, see if they be willing to be on other projects. Then you
right,
can kind of tell with them actors, like, if they down to want to act. A lot of them don't want to act no more, but then it'll be some that still got that itch to get in another projects, and those are the ones you can, nicely, when they in not panels, but if they had a booth, you could easily talk to them. They nice
right,
people, you for the majority part, and then you just catch them, and it might be the right time, especially you got your stuff together or you got something to show them.
right. And reels are very important. I'm gonna
Yeah,
tell you from that. And
it
Kim
helps
just
out.
said you miss 100% of the chances you don't take. That's the right word.
Facts.
So,
Facts.
yeah. So everyone, you heard that, So hey, it's not hard. You just gotta put your work out there, show what you can do, and do that. Eventually, someone's gonna find you and be like, hey, I want to work with you, or vice
Right.
versa. So, all right, let's see here. The next one I saw that was pretty cool. Okay, so all right, so ironclad. Explain that to me. Let me adjust the screen a little bit better.
Yeah,
There
my
we
bad. I should have gave you a better picture. But
go.
Ironclad is a new hero character. I was previously on a Power Rangers project. I'm not gonna say the name or whatever, but I
Mhm.
was previously on it. Some miscommunication happened, and so I created this character to be on that project. So when things fell off, I still want to do something because I put all my money towards this character. I bought the costume, the designs. I had my artists create this. I even asked the suit that I got it from if it was okay for me to use this suit,
Mhm.
design. He gave me the okay. So I created this character, but I didn't want it to be a Power Ranger because I didn't want whoever owns Power Rangers to own this character. So I
Right,
said, I'm just gonna make it original so I have ownership. So I'm big on ownership and anything that I create from my brain, you know what I mean, that I put the money into. So when that happened, I went to a convention. People loved the suit. People was taking pictures. They loved it. They're like, "Who is this character?" I'm like, "I wanted to turn this to a hero." So
right,
right now, I'm making an original project out of this, maybe for next year or so, whenever I have time, to bring this out as my own superhero. You know what I
right.
mean? Something that's like different from Power Rangers, but kind of get that feel of it.
That's awesome, man. Like that's really cool. Like I mean, all this is like original, and
Yes.
you got the costume together, you got the helmet, you got the
Yeah.
weapons. That's pretty cool, man. Something like kind of like from My Hero Academia or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Man. Shout
So,
out to Dave World X that I got the suit from. Shout out to my bro John who help create the helmet with his 3D printer. Shout out to my bro Michael Edie who helped create the second helmet. I had two helmets and I used Etsy to get the suit created. It was like a go-kart suit. One of them was go-kart suit
yeah,
and then the
yeah.
other one's the actual suit. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right. So I found this one. This was pretty cool. So did you make this? Let me go flip it again. Hold on. So
Yes.
was this made? Like this is a pretty cool werewolf. I saw this one and I saw this one.
Yeah, so I didn't make it per se. I got it made for me from Midnight Studios. Midnight Studios.
Mhm.
They a professional company that does a lot of monster costumes, do a lot of monster stuff for Halloween or just film project. They do a lot of actual bigger budget independent suit costumes and monsters and
Okay.
stuff like that. But I went to them and
Do
I
you
told her I
mind?
need a liking suit, and then they made it for me.
Do you mind saying how much it cost?
Yeah, it was 20. I want to say it was 2,300, but 200. I think around $200 more to ship or something. So around
Wow, that's a
25.
lot. And I'm not
Yeah,
saying it's a lot. I mean, you know, like I know how to make werewolf suits, right? I'm
right.
learning how to make it myself, and I just had someone who bought one from me, and it's just
Uh-huh.
I was just like, Yeah, yeah, they bought one, and I was able to make it like the eyes move and everything like that,
Yeah,
and they really loved it, you know. And
yeah,
I think they pay. I just asked them, "What's your budget?" You know, and I told them
yeah.
I think their budget was like, $800, and I said,
Yeah.
okay, I can work with that. I just tell them this is how it goes and this is what I need. And once you understand what materials to make it out from that looks good and
Right.
all that good stuff, it I just kind of went with it. And they were like, oh, you made it out of like actual weave and stuff, and it was really cool, and the eyes
Yeah.
loved it. And I was just like, man, I mean, everyone has their own prices. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, everyone charges a lot, but sometimes, like, I try keeping myself, of course, without undercutting myself, I try
Yeah.
keeping it within people's budgets because, hey, I get it. Like, when I want something finished or want something made and I just, can't work with my budget because that's your cutoff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then it
Yeah.
just kind of goes from there. But that's really cool. That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
cool. That is
Because I'm telling you, other people charge more. I remember before I met Midnight Studios, other people were charging me 3,500. Some was saying 10,000. Some was
well,
saying five, and I
it,
get it.
it really depends on the
Mhm.
product and the company and
Yeah.
what you want to go. Because I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie, there are some places that will really overcharge you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? For things that are just kind of like I can
I
get
can
this
make.
somewhere else, right?
Right.
Don't want to get ripped off, and I think that's the number one thing that people have to really take a look at and understand is like making sure that, hey, am I getting the best deal for me? Is it going to work out?
Right.
Is it
Yeah.
something that lasts long? Is this something that's a one and done? I just waste my money because you know one thing that is very important is budgeting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is when you're in films and you're making product, your production, you got to make sure you keep everything under your budget, uh,
Hmm.
because there's a lot of productions out there who raise so much money, and you
Yeah.
watch their film and it doesn't even look like how much
Right.
they
Like, what you
raised.
spend it on? Where's this?
Right?
Where'd it
It's like,
go?
well, wait, you raised how much money and it only looks like this? It's like,
Yeah.
because there are just some people out there who, they raise all the money and it gets pocketed. You know what I mean? Most of it
Hmm.
gets pocketed, or it goes into, like certain things that are not necessary for the production.
Yeah.
And I always think for myself that when I do budgeting, like for 92 hours,
Right.
um, which if you guys don't know about it, it's a sci-fi film about aliens taking over the Earth. So it's gonna be really cool. Um, it's the budgeting when I wanted to do it was at first at this rate,
Hmm.
but I had to switch it up and think. I said, okay, I need to create a world. I need to create something so that people can go ahead and be comfortable, being a part of the project. They'll be comfortable giving me their money and
Hmm.
knowing that, hey, this production is going to get made, building the trust because it's just in today's society, we see what's going on. The economy
Right.
is shit. You know what I
Right.
mean? Gas prices are high. You know, for some people they can't afford a lot of things. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's going to get expensive. I know actors who have started raising the rates, and that I perfectly understand that because
Hmm.
they need to get paid for their time and it's expensive. And also at the same time, from director's point of view, it's going to be harder to cast people who want to get paid. And it's great knowing that, like I have a cast that is very workable. All
Hmm.
of them are very understanding and understand um, what I need and what I ask from them. And it's like, hey, I really love this story. I want to be a part of this. What can we work out? There's always a compromise. And I always talk about that. Find some sort of compromise if you can. If you really want to work with someone and they want to
Hmm.
work with you, you always find common ground. And you'll
Right.
always find a way to work with each other because, sometimes you might just not get that, role with that person you want. Like you're in the
Hmm.
Power Rangers with, hey,
Yeah.
you're with him, you never know. I'm just saying a bigger actor might charge a lot of money, but if your work is really good and they like
Yeah.
it, they'll
Yeah.
work with you. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's why it's important of creating very good content, being very humble, have some
Yeah.
humility, because there are some people who are just not humble, who I
Yeah.
ran across, and they just want everything for themselves. I'm like, sorry, I'm out. you know,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't do it. So
yeah,
we
and
are reaching our halfway point,
yeah,
uh, and we're gonna keep this for an hour podcast.
yep.
But we are reaching our halfway point, and we are going to be talking about some news, what's been going on. All right.
All
So,
right.
but first, before I jump into that, I like to explain to everybody that let me go ahead and fix this up. Hang on. There we go. I like to
Yeah.
explain to everybody to go like and subscribe us on YouTube.
Yes.
Go and like
Right
and
now.
subscribe. You want to see more stuff like this? We're making some new films. We're going to get into these things called vertical shorts. So
Okay.
we're going to start getting into those. We got so many stuff we're going to be doing. So go and like and subscribe to our YouTube. So it's free. You don't have to pay for anything. Seriously, support support us. It's
Support.
awesome. Now I know there's been a big confusion going on with what's going on with the Facebook page. So I know I had a 92 hours Facebook page, and I tell people to go follow that. We have officially merged the Red Huntress page with Movie Crew 17. So instead of trying to go and like each and every different page, you can
Mhm.
watch it all on one. So go on Facebook and find Movie Crew 17 and go follow us. And you can also find our website, moviecrew17.com. We are getting that revamped. It's going to look amazing. Should be done by this week. So you can check out all the things that you want from services that we do, from costumes, makeup. We also do editing, post production, pre production. We have so much stuff that you can use. And we'll also be doing free tutorials. So if you want to learn stuff, hey, it's not hard. Just subscribe to the channel, right? Hey, right? Learn it,
Yeah.
right? That's how it
Yeah.
is. You got
Yeah.
to learn.
Yeah.
Especially my miniature class I'll be holding.
Mhm.
Stay tuned for that because a lot of people have been asking about that. Stay tuned for that. I'm gonna have a workshop for that. It's gonna be awesome. So, all right. So now that we reached our halfway point, let's talk about what happened over the past. Let's see. Here we go. Hold on. Kenzie just said it's going to be a hot one. Yes, it is.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, all right. So this is going to be fun. As we know, the Oscars have
Mhm.
just made its past already. We just had it, and as all filmmakers do, we love watching the Oscars, right?
Yeah.
We had I forgot who was the host was. I forgot. Okay, I forgot. But it'll come to my head later on. I know Conan. Conan was the host for it. There you go.
Mhm.
And it was. I watched part of it. I didn't watch too much of it.
Right.
Um, but there were so many winners. And there were three particular films that I basically was looking out for. I
Mhm.
seen one of them, and I'm still watching. I have to finish the other one, and I haven't seen the last one. So the one
Right.
I have seen to start off was Frankenstein, right?
Mm.
So I
Yeah.
watched Frankenstein. Have you seen Frankenstein?
No, I have not.
Not yet. Okay.
No.
Frankenstein was pretty good. I say it was pretty good. I was expecting it to be a little bit more violent, but
Mhm.
you all have to know that like Del Toro, how he does things, it's more about telling the story and about creating the world and people just feeling like they're part of it. Now it's not like Frankenstein, like the movie, like up in the bell tower. Um,
Right.
where he's up there and they're like, get him, you know what I mean? Like it's
Right.
alive.
Right.
But it's talking about how Frankenstein came to life and how the creator did not kind of like did care for him too much, right? And
Mhm.
it's like Frankenstein had to learn how to, you know, understand life, how to love, how to live,
Mhm.
without his father there or his creator. And of course the creator's trying to defy, I can make life, I can take away life, kind of like that. So it was
Mhm.
a pretty interesting story, really good makeup and
Mm.
effects they did. there was one scene there I really liked. I think it's going back to that one scene here, when he was explaining to everyone about how he can bring people to life, and they had this it was like half a skeleton, but half
Mhm.
like with skin and organs, and it moved, and it was an amazing prop. And I was sitting there like, I wonder how they put that together, but it was
Right.
really cool. And Del Toro is a huge miniature person. He's
Right.
very old school when it comes to filming, and it just was great. Like the world here he created, the scenery was
Hmm.
really good.
Hmm.
Now, the next film that also took by storm, and
Hmm.
I only watched partial of it, is Sinners, right?
Hmm.
So Sinners, I only finished half the movie.
Hmm.
Okay, I already know what happens. I've seen the spoilers already, so
Right.
I'm kind of like, whatever. We live in a world now where everyone likes to spoil stuff, right?
Right.
So I'm like, okay, whatever. So how did you have you watched Sinners?
Yes, I watched it about 8, 10 times because of reactions. I watched other reactors watching it too to see what they think of the movie. But yeah, I watched it.
So how did you feel about Sinners?
I loved it. Now I know Ryan Coogler never been the greatest like action
Mm-hmm.
director or stuff like that. That's my only. If anything, I have to not criticize but critique of him
Mm-hmm.
is his action. When it comes to him, action is not like the best or whatever
Right.
what I would think of a vampire and them battling. But overall, I love the story. I love the music. I love the world. I love how Michael B. Jordan was twins and
Yeah.
how he took it. You know what I mean? I love Sammy, how he was singing the music. I love that they brought real history with the Irish and stuff
Mhm.
I didn't even know about the Irish, about how the Christians took over, them and stuff and forced them in Christianity and all that. I didn't know that, what I'm saying? So me to learn new history with what, black people was going through at that time, so I love that. And this the nuances of like with the snake and then this little by little. I loved Riddick, what I mean, as the vampire. I wanted
Yeah.
to see more of him.
Right.
I want more of him, but I
Right.
loved it. And the Choctaw Indians, me as a Native American, I love the Choctaw, but wanted more of them.
Right.
So but I loved it, man.
I think like I haven't seen all of it. Like again, I
Yeah,
haven't seen all of it, but I have seen partial of it, and I heard from people. And like I said, I know exactly what you're saying.
yeah,
It's not an action like you think it's gonna
yeah,
like it's not like watching Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer or
yeah,
watching I don't know, I like any other vampire film, like just the action side of it, right? This is
yeah.
telling
Till
more of a
dust till
story.
dawn.
It's more of a story and history mixed
Hmm.
with the vampire aspect
Yes.
to it, right? So if
Hmm.
anyone who watches it is thinking, "Oh, this is going to be action-packed, bloody," like we're talking about like blood everywhere and horror, nah,
Yeah.
it's not going to work. It's
Nah,
not like
nah,
that. It's not like that.
nah.
Yeah, because Ryan Coogler, great director.
Yeah.
And it was cool watching how they filmed it, and it was just interesting. It was really good watching. I follow Ryan Coogler, like I watch
Hmm.
like his films and stuff like that.
Yes.
He's making the X Files. He's
I
redoing.
heard.
He's gonna be directing the new a remake of the X Files.
I can't wait to see that. I want to see what he brings to it and how like sci-fi. I mean, like the sci-fi, the alien UFO. Like, I wonder what he's gonna do with it.
Right. You know, it's really cool. Okay, here, this is great. At the
Yeah.
Oscars I watched, he showed up at the Oscar. Jack O'Connell shows up,
Yeah.
and he has his fangs on. I mean, that's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
cool. Like,
Yeah.
now I haven't gotten to that scene yet when he
Yes.
shows up. That's the part of the movie where I haven't seen, but I just
Uh,
know when he walks up and he's like, "Hey, we want to come in," and it's funny because a lot of people don't understand. They ask me, "Oh, hey, why do they keep asking, can we come in?" Right?
yeah.
And in, I guess, vampire terms,
Mhm.
when someone says, "Hey, can we come in?" Vampires are actually very polite, right?
Yeah.
If you tell them, no, they won't come into your house or
Right.
whatever, right? But if you say,
Yes.
yeah, they come in, they get the permission, they'll ask you first. It's weird. And you know how I found that out? Through that
What?
old movie, Scary Godmother. It was the
Yeah.
old one growing up, the animation when I was a kid. They had it and they were explaining, yeah, why are they just standing outside? It's like, oh, you got to ask you got to invite them in. They're very polite. But of course, you know what vampires are. So,
Yeah.
you
I
know,
remember watching Buffy. That's how I found out about
yeah,
that. That was
Buffy, yep.
Buffy and Angel
Yep. Man, just so many like, going back to like,
mythology and stuff and
yeah,
lore.
all those and how they made so many remakes about everything. It's so crazy. But speaking about remakes, all right,
Mhm.
how about what's going on right now? Let's take it back to our childhood. Miley
Man,
Cyrus is coming back with the Hannah Montana 20th anniversary special.
I think that's gonna be done. I think it's gonna break records because we haven't seen her in a while. I have not
Wild,
heard.
a while. So growing up, I used to enjoy watching Disney, right? I
Yeah,
was a Disney kid. I was a DCOM kid, right?
me
I
too.
always wanted to be a Disney star, right?
Yeah,
And that was my dream. I'm like, I don't want to be with Disney. I want to be with Nickelodeon. And it's
yeah.
sad. It's really sad though. At the end of the day, when after they put out the series called Quiet on Set, that you
Hmm.
learn a lot how a lot of these kids were treated terribly,
Yeah.
and we laugh at what they did. They were making our days. That was our comedies, and we all dreamed
Hmm.
to be that. But behind the scenes, it
Yeah.
was hell for some of those guys, for those
Yeah.
kids. And it sucks. It really does. So when you see all this stuff coming, you're like, man, like I can't believe that really happened with some of
The
with some
kid.
it's
Yeah.
sad. It sucks. And when I watched Quiet on Set, it was really sad seeing how all those stuff had happened, especially with Jamie Lynn Spears. I love Zoe 101. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that show,
Yeah. I used to watch that too.
Yeah, I always wanted to go to PCA.
Yeah.
Like I always wanted to go to PCA and
Yeah.
I still watch Zoe 101, right?
Right.
Like old school Zoe 101, Drake and Josh.
Del,
I think last
Zach and
night,
Cody.
huh?
Zach and Cody.
Zach and Cody, yes. I love watching old Nickelodeon Disney
Me
stuff,
too.
right? In Disney Plus, that's all I watch,
Mm-hmm.
We watch series. Um, so I don't know. It was just when I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to see this because
Mm-hmm.
I'm so happy they didn't reboot this. You know how
Yeah.
all these new shows are getting
Yeah.
rebooted? I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't watch this. This is terrible. Like the reboot. I'm like, I saw I wasn't a big fan of Wizards of Waverly Place,
Hmm.
so we watched the reboot of it, and it was all right. I mean, I didn't care for it,
Right.
That's So Raven. I think they did Raven's Home. I'm sorry, I got something in my eye.
Nah,
Uh,
you good.
I'm not crying. I just got something in my eye.
You good. You good. We ain't gonna
um,
judge you.
so, yeah, Raven's Home. I didn't really care for that.
Yeah.
It's not the same as That's So Raven. You know what I
Nah,
mean?
nah. You don't got that
It was,
same feel. They waited too long.
yeah, it's just not the same. Um, I'm going to go into the comments real quick. Anne Hathaway is back. I'm going to have to talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, all right. We love new and old Miley. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't look like she changed either. It's
Nah.
you
It
know,
looked like she got healthier because back
yeah,
then when she was
yeah.
doing that hip hop music or she was doing the music with like rappers and all that, it just felt like I don't know. It's like she almost a cry for help a little bit, almost like she was just changing brands from Disney and all that,
It's
and
stressful.
being more adult. Yeah.
Stressful. Like you can't go. Like great example. The kid from Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. The
Yes. They got
the
that podcast. They be talking
they
about it.
have their. Oh my gosh, I would love to be on their podcast one day.
Me
I
too.
love. I have one in my. Oh, I have
Yeah.
my own version of my declassified book. On my next
Mm.
podcast, I'll talk about it. I love it. Like I had one, I wrote it out, and it's so cool. Um, so let's see. go on here. Billy Ray put her through that. She represents him and will not willingly talk to him. So,
Mm,
I mean, I don't know the full story of
yeah,
what happened with that. Um, I don't know because I know they just don't talk with each other. So,
yeah.
um, let's see. Let me switch this over. He's in the podcast reunion. I wonder how good the money was. Yeah, yeah. You kind of see like, oh, is it worth the money or is it?
Yeah.
So, but it says, let's see, nothing beats the original. They tried to tailor it to kids from now problem
Mhm.
or so.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Yeah.
that.
They tried to tailor it to kids from Now's problems, which are
Okay, I don't know. You got
yeah.
to explain that a little bit more with that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna watch it. I want to see how it is. Like I said, I used to watch her Hannah Montana all the time. I remember I had one of my friends. She had you know how back then you had like the portable disc, uh,
Yeah.
the one that you can go with the DVD, not DVD,
Yeah.
but
The book.
it's a CD player, the portable.
Yeah.
She had
Yeah.
like the Hannah Montana stuff, and everyone would listen to it. All that stuff. It was a cool show watching as a
Yeah.
kid. So
Did you
it's
used to
pretty.
watch? Did you used to watch Lizzie McGuire and stuff?
Yeah, I used to watch Lizzie McGuire. Yeah, I used to watch Lizzie McGuire. Man, Hilary
And
Duff was
Steven?
awesome.
Yeah.
Love watching Hilary Duff.
Mm-hmm.
Like Lizzie McGuire, the Lizzie McGuire movie, Cadet Kelly. I watched all her movies. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what she's going on right now. I know she was in How I Met Your Father.
Yeah.
I
She
think.
been low key. Her and Amanda Bonds. Like Amanda Bonds really helped push that. Like and Sabrina Witch kind of helped that for kids like Disney and Nickelodeon
Right.
for like the young girls and we women to grow to their own show and stuff. But I haven't seen Amanda Bonds in a while. You won't hear nothing about
No,
her.
I mean she's on TikTok. I think
Yeah,
I see videos, and she went through a rough time. She
yeah,
was put through a rough time, and she went through a lot as a kid, and
yeah,
you know that's also the reason why I'm grateful I wasn't a a actor as a kid
yeah.
because the parents would
Uh-huh.
put you through so much crap. You know
The
what I mean?
Olsen twins.
What happened?
The Olsen twins too. You see
Yeah,
what they went through as a
yeah,
kid?
yeah. It's stress. Kids are supposed to be out having fun, enjoying life,
Mm-hmm.
riding their bikes, being with
Mm-hmm.
their friends, and you're on set. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you're making money, you're getting popular, but you miss out on your childhood, and it tells you that sometimes being rich and popular is nothing compared to having a childhood.
Yeah.
When you remember and you have friends, and it sucks because they were our childhood.
Mm-hmm.
When we watched them, that made our childhood, and it sucks because someone had to make the sacrifice to get
Yeah.
to make us happy. You know,
Yeah.
Max said, "Oh my gosh, they look scary now." The
Yeah, I
Olsen.
know. They look so drugged out. I'm telling you, they look so. They little sister look way better than them right now. Like you could tell they went through something. But Scarlett dodged that, like, or you know what I mean. Like the little sister dodged that. But I met Kel Mitchell. I wanted to ask him how was it like in Nickelodeon because I met him last year
Oh, Keenan
before
and
Ranger Time.
Kel, I love that.
Yeah,
I love that show.
yeah, I got a picture with him. And he's a nice, cool dude. And I wanted to ask him how was it like growing up in that era. Cause you remember the goo, remember the green slime they used
Yes,
to
he used
do
to have
it.
the Kids' Choice Awards all the time.
Yeah, all that.
I would always okay, so I would always as a kid when um when a new decom came out, right?
Uh-huh.
In the summer, we would have movie nights. I would grab popcorn, I would have like a pizza, and I would watch that decom movie, right? I
Mm-hmm.
would me, myself, and just watching it, right? I was so happy with it. I got home from school and I just was like, okay, let me get my homework done, let me get everything done. And then
Yeah.
by Saturday, it was amazing. I just watched it, right? I watched that, and then Toonami on Cartoon Network on Saturday.
Mhm.
I had a whole layout going on.
Bro,
Pokemon.
bro. Bro, people don't realize our Saturday nights was
Yeah,
long. I mean, from 7 in the morning, you gotta get those cereals and you and your bed like calling each episode, and then you had to flick. You know how hard it was back then,
yes,
Dave? You
yes.
had to flick per commercial what was on
You know,
from Fox Kids to Cartoon Network, Disney Peak, was it dang, what was the other shows? It was Disney, Cartoon Network, Fox Kids, PBS.
there
You
was
had all
so
these.
there was so much stuff as a kid. You know what? I think my next podcast Monday is going to be taking me back to the 90s, right?
You
So
should.
I think that will be awesome. I think I'll get some people on here. Let's talk about stuff from the 90s.
Yeah.
That would be amazing because
You
you
know,
go ahead, go ahead.
no, I'm sorry, but YouTube, they actually got like Fox Kids, the show running from those.
I know.
You
I
see those like them hour long or from different shows, like the
Yeah. They have like the Halloween specials and all
yes,
that stuff.
Goosebumps and stuff,
Yeah. Oh man.
Animorphs.
All right, so that's what we're gonna talk about. So we will show the trailer for the Red Huntress.
Okay.
That the first thing we'll do, okay, and then we'll talk about all about 90s.
Yes.
That's where it's gonna be. It's going to be fun. Take me back, man, because that's oh my gosh.
Best era, man. Best
Yeah,
era.
growing up, you had like I said, Cartoon Network, Kids Next Door,
Mm-hmm.
Samurai Jack. You had all of those shows. Like I used to watch the Powerpuff Girls. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
You had,
Powerpuff Girls though.
yeah,
Johnny Quest. You had Johnny Quest. You had Gumby. You
yeah.
had dang, who else you
Uh, uh, Super. No, that was
oh,
Disney. Super
huh?
Robot Rescue Team Hyperforce Go. That was Disney.
Yes.
That was Disney. That was like Disney DXD. That's what it was.
Yep.
Disney DXD. They had
Remember
every.
Ultimate Muscle?
Oh yeah, Ultraman Muscle. There you
Yeah,
go.
Ultraman Muscle.
Those
That's what it
crazy
was.
udons on Fox.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Godzilla they had on
That,
there. Mighty Ducks.
we had so much cool stuff. All right, that's
Yeah.
gonna be our next topic.
Yes.
And take me back. And if you want to be a part of that,
Yes.
go ahead and let me know. Go
Yes.
ahead, message me, let me know, and we'll go ahead and get that set up so you
Yeah,
can
I'm gonna
be
be a part of
of
that.
podcast.
I'm a part of that.
That oh man, oh man, oh man, it's gonna be awesome. So yeah, so that's gonna be awesome watching Hannah Montana. I'm gonna
Mhm.
let everyone, I'll let everyone. I'll do a review about it, how I feel about it next week.
Mhm.
Kenzie says Chalk Zone. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Chalk
Movie
Zone,
Yep.
Phantom, Danny
Yep.
Phantom,
Danny Phantom. Yep. Invader Zim.
yeah, Vader Zim.
Yep.
What was those three aliens with the mech suits? Like it was it was blue, yellow, and red.
The
Eh,
Martian.
yeah, it was something like that. It
Martian.
was
I don't
it
know.
was like 3D clay or it was like 3D characters or whatever. They had these suits. I forget it was back in those days though. I
I
forget the name.
do remember Camp Laszlo. That was a good.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a good.
yeah,
There's so much stuff we can talk about the night.
yeah.
So that will be our topic next week. That's gonna be good.
Hmm.
All right. So next on the list we have, and of course for me, I am a huge Star Wars fan. So the Mandalorian and Grogu.
Hmm.
I am excited for that. I finished the Mandalorian, and I think it's freaking awesome. And
Yeah.
speaking about that, I have one of the best buys that I got from the thrift store. All right, let me see if I can see if this thing has battery on it. Here we go. Oh my goodness. Yes.
So I got mine. Now it's not light up.
Woo! This was probably the best buy I got from the thrift store. And I was really surprised no one got it. And I just love it because it has all these like effects I can have.
Yeah.
I can change colors. Let me see. So it blinks. It gives me different effects. Hold on. I gotta. There we go. I got green. I got purple. I got orange. I got pink. I got orange again. Pink. Hold on. Let's get to the red. There it is. The red. I went crazy when I found this. Look at that. Let me turn this on. That is awesome.
Yeah.
So yes, the Mandalorian and Grogu. That's gonna be a good one. I was gonna go as the Mandalorian for Halloween, but I was like, yeah, it's too much work to make. I
Yeah.
got so um so that's coming out. I'm excited for that. I'm surprised they didn't do that on May the 4th uh
Yeah.
for it, but I guess it's just
Right.
differently. That's okay. That's okay. I love the Mandalorian. All right, and finally, before we talk about our closing stuff with movies that we are working on with the
Yeah.
92 Hours in Red Huntress, let's talk about Scream. What's
Ooh.
the matter, Sydney? Looks like you see a ghost. All right, so I honestly only seen the first two Screams. I
Really?
haven't seen anything else after that. So I
Mm.
need to catch up before I watch Scream 7. And I know also something I forgot to add was also scary movies coming out too. So
Yeah.
that's going to be really funny. I'm excited to see that.
Me too.
I'm like, okay, this is cool. And the Wayne brothers are the ones who are directing it and creating
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So it's going to have that same comedy as it did before, and it's going to be funny. I'm excited for it. But Scream 7, I'm curious to see how that's going to be. I know it's a hot commodity right now. What's going on? It's another, comeback of a old classic.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so it's gonna be cool to see what happens. Um, so yeah. So I can't talk too much about Scream because I just don't know enough about it because I'm
Mm-hmm.
not caught up. So,
Right. It's a lot
but
for you to
yeah,
go through.
yeah. It's like I don't have enough time to explain it all.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, uh, that's basically all what's been hot on the market. And like I said, it's going to be fun to see what's going to be happening
Mm-hmm.
this week, coming up in the future. We have, again, the Red Huntress that will be coming out. Episode 3 and 4 are going to be combined together. I literally just finished like setting out a few more of the remaining perks because we had to reshoot some scenes. So I
Okay.
finally did that. I'm like, oh, finally, like the screen used props, and I
Yeah.
finally got the take that I needed, and I'm like, oh, I can finally put it out. So, right now all we have to do is just put that seed in and then just edit it and then add the
Mm-hmm.
music over it. Boom, done. So it's probably a day project for it. So that's coming out, and from then on, we're just gonna focus on 92 hours. We
Yeah.
have so many cool stuff that we're gonna have. I know you're playing as we talked about a little
Yes.
yeah a little um heads up or
Yeah.
spoiler,
Yeah.
Darrell is going to be playing as the commander of the aliens. So
Yeah.
he's coming out Sunday, and we're going to be
Yeah.
doing makeup on him and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be fun. It's going to be great, and we're going to start really pushing that very soon. So it's going to be fun. So um, Darrell, where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook. You type in Darrell Miller, the entertainer on
Okay.
Facebook, or you can go on Instagram. More likely, more so on Instagram as well. You can find me on official DARELL 317, or you
Mhm.
can find me at Royalty Virtue ROYLALTI Virtue. You can find me on my also website is royaltyvirtue.net. And TikTok, I'm still on there, but I'm not on there as much. So the best way to contact me is either Facebook or Instagram. If you can like message me, I message back, or you want to collab, work
Message
with me. Yeah. Some people don't message back.
I'm guilty of that too. I don't mess
Yeah.
back sometimes. I'm terrible.
Bro.
I'm more on Facebook than I am on Instagram. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get into Instagram, but Facebook's just easier for me. I'm on
Yeah.
it more, and also TikTok. I'm trying to get back into it, but soon I'll be going to Discord and really
Yes.
using that. And so, but YouTube, I have to really start doing stuff again with YouTube. So
Yeah.
it's fun. So sweet. All right. Well, everyone, thanks for tuning in this evening. Darrell, thanks for jumping on.
Okay.
We'll be again. the schedule for next Monday will be starting at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Central Time. We'll have Darrell back again. If you
Yeah.
want to be a part of our conversation, why don't message me? You know where to find me at. Just go ahead and message me. We're gonna be talking about the '90s. We're gonna take it back. We're gonna watch a little Red Huntress,
Yeah.
and soon we'll start re upping up again with 92 hours with cast. I have new cast members who I'm bringing on,
Uh-huh.
and it's just gonna be great. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited for it. Again, my main goal is to get Red Hunters out first. I know people
Mhm.
have been asking about it. Where's 92 hour stuff? And I said,
Yeah.
well, give me a second. Let me get Red Hunters out done first, so
Yeah.
I can prioritize, what I need to get done. So please check your mail for you guys. You guys got perks coming, and I did send out emails. I know some people haven't emailed me back, so please check that. So you know when your package is coming and it gets delivered, so you can get it. And yeah, and don't forget, if you are following the 92-hour page, I will be shutting that page down soon. So I will make a post on that page. Follow us on Movie Crew 17 on Facebook. Just follow. It's just Movie Crew 17 on Facebook. Give us a follow because I shifted everything to that page. So again, yeah, we're gonna be starting to once Red Huntress is out. Hopefully, I can get it done by next week. I really want to get it done by next week, and out and released so everyone can watch it and enjoy it, and we can move on to working with the sci-fi stuff together. I know a lot of people are really, really excited for it and they want to get
Mhm.
going on it. So, um, of course, we're gonna get our funding together and all that stuff. So we're gonna have some cool perks we'll have for everyone that they can get, and really cool stuff. And yeah, we'll be showing a lot of behind the scenes stuff because I know with Darrell, we're gonna be showing some cool stuff. So
Yes.
everyone's gonna this movie is gonna be our block. This will be my summer blockbuster movie. It's
Yes.
92 hours, so that's gonna
Yeah.
be something we want to have premiere everything like that. So we'll get more into that very soon. Um, but other than that, thank you everyone for tuning in. We have just hit our hour mark or close to it, and we are going to wrap it up. So don't forget, follow us on YouTube and like and subscribe on YouTube at Movie Crew 17 and also on Facebook. And we all know where Darrell is. I'll put a link for his stuff in the comments later on. And we'll see everyone next week with the Red Hunters
Yeah.
and take us back to the 90s. Let's
Back.
go. All right, everyone. Have a good night, morning, afternoon, wherever you're watching.